GrayMatter has grown from 100K ARR to now 1 million ARR.
Ads that we've run off of me making content have exponentially been better than anything we've ever seen.
The best thing about the ad that you had made there, it was scalable as well. This one, you could just keep pushing conversions. Trial pack orders were about half the LTV of direct.
Our manufacturer couldn't keep up with the demand. And as an entrepreneur, I've experienced this quite a bit, and like you kind of have to expect it, but like there's always problems. We would get messages like, hey, I need this. Like what is that? What's the problem? Where's it at? That didn't feel good. Spent all my money last year making this a thing.
Yeah.
You know, there was months where I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know if I made the right decision. And just to be able to kind of get that breathing room, I'm excited about it. Shit.
Got that out. Welcome everyone. My name is Harsh Kang. I am the founder and CEO of Roveir. We're a growth marketing agency. Today I have Jim Phillips, CEO and co-founder of GrayMatter, who we've helped take from 100K ARR all the way to 1 million ARR, which is super exciting. Just some background, we've been working together for 7 months now, and we've gotten some really good results. We've been supporting from a growth marketing perspective and advertising perspective, but there's a lot of things that have happened behind the scenes. So in this series, we're going to talk about all those, such as manufacturing problems, website updates, branding, things like this. So Jim, how you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've always been an entrepreneur in startups, about 17 years, 7 companies, either as a founder or early stage team. 3 of them have gotten to exits. So I have had some success, but this is my first consumer brand business.
Amazing. And tell me why you started, what made you start GrayMatter?
So GrayMatter is a supplement company. It's the maker of BrightMind. BrightMind is a plant-based nootropic drink mix. It's a combination of 27 active ingredients. It helps strengthen your cognition. And for me, this goes all the way back to the beginning of my career. I was a very young entrepreneur. 26 when I was VC backed the first time, and I had no idea what I was doing. And like many people, I resorted to lots of Adderall, too many coffees to try to get ahead, thinking that it would make me more productive. And it had the opposite effect. I got more anxiety, and I was a bad leader, and I just wasn't very good. And I thought that there had to be a better way. So I started kind of studying why I was feeling the way I was, and like why I wasn't having the success that I was looking for. And I did 2 things. I taught myself how to meditate, which is really impactful and still is. And I started experimenting with nootropics and adaptogens in a very functional manner. If you don't know what those are, they're just natural substances or plants that help strengthen your cognition or change your cognition in a very functional manner. And I had a lot of success with it. So much that, I start to talk about it to friends and colleagues, and most people didn't know what I was talking about. They didn't know what a nootropic was. And a lot of people still don't. And so from that point, a while ago, I knew that there was an opportunity to help expand the awareness of plant-based cognitive supplementation. I didn't do anything with it at the time, but fast forward in my career, my last company is called charm.io. I did all the go-to-market for them as a small team. And it tracks every direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand in the world. So it gave me this kind of bird's eye view of e-commerce and Shopify stores and the best brand in any category and what they were doing to grow. And so I kind of felt like I had this unfair advantage, and I wanted to start my own brand. So I went back to that idea that I had from the beginning of my career and formulated GrayMatter and formulated BrightMind. And we made this kind of plant-based drink mix with a PhD molecular biologist that took a lot of time to formulate and get right, but eventually went to market with it and is helping lots of people for various ways. One of the main ones is kind of replacing Adderall and having it be a natural version to help you focus.
That's incredible. And hey, I remember when we first chatted, you shared this personal story with me.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing that here with the viewers as well?
Yeah, so GrayMatter was a side project from Charm. Charm was going great. We had actually just sold the company to a company in New York. That company kept me on to run it for their portfolio. Super exciting. I was actually like making money, and there was a ton more that we could do with the business. And I had no intention of really making GrayMatter my full-time thing, but I ended up getting sick in August of 2023. I had this like mystery illness where I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And, for 70 days or so, I just kept progressively getting worse. I went to see every specialist you could think of, cancer and everything. I literally thought I was going to die. And long story short, I had an infection in my heart. I still don't know how I got it, but by the time the doctors figured it out, I needed to have open heart surgery to save my life. Yeah. And, that was very existential and life-changing. And ironically, when that was happening, GrayMatter started taking off. We had kind of figured out who our customer was a little bit before that. We had launched subscription. And when I'm sitting in the hospital bed, I'm getting reviews to us that our product is changing other people's lives. And so I was already thinking, why did this happen to me? What am I going to do with my second chance at life? And it just became very obvious that I had this big opportunity to help a lot of people with GrayMatter and the products that we create. And so it, convinced me to do it and started taking the steps to leave Charm, went full time with GrayMatter in February of 2024. And, thankfully it worked. And here we are.
I remember early on in our onboarding, Novi mentioning a story of how you guys met.
Yeah.
I want to hear that. I want to let the viewers also listen to that as well.
So it was actually during like the height of COVID. Yeah. And I have a rooftop at my place. Yeah. And, it was open air. You could hang out there. And no places to hang out were open during then. Right. So like my rooftop became a thing.
Right. How many people were on the rooftop?
probably like 20 at least, not huge, but decent. And he came with another friend, and I started chatting with him. And, at that time, I was thinking about this and starting to write down the ideas. And he had the idea to do this, but for gaming, and it really niched down to gamers. And there was a period of GrayMatter's existence where that is what we were doing. It just didn't work. Yeah. What we formulated is really sophisticated, and gamers have their own thing. They're like drinking Mountain Dews and other shit, and they weren't ready for the powerful nootropics we have at GrayMatter.
How did you guys decide? So how did you guys decide that gamers weren't the right target market for you? Because I'm sure there's people watching right now that have an audience selected. Yeah. But they're like, is this the right one, or should I pivot to something else?
Well, first off, I totally went against something that I think is like one of my core ideas in starting businesses, where you have to have a good sense of founder market fit. And I'm not a gamer.
Right.
Novi, I think, maybe light it on that he was maybe more of a gamer than he actually was. He's a lot younger than me. And it turns out we both kind of had to figure out our target persona as well as start and launch a company. Yeah. And get in their head when you're not that, it just makes everything harder. So you want to have a good founder market fit in terms of who you're making this product for. And that's why I think landing on the actual formula that is now BrightMind is really just a kind of genesis of solving my own problems as a young entrepreneur that, didn't know what he was doing and needed longer periods of productivity. So it ended up through just iteration, going to market, getting feedback from the market, that it's good for lots of people, but specifically people with ADHD. And we saw this through the reviews that we would get. It just kept popping up, and it just made a lot of sense that, we could really focus in on niching down to ADHD and help people there.
Yeah. Also from a passion perspective as well, right? I don't think you were maybe as passionate in the gaming industry as who you have now. Because I know you still share via emails and Slack screenshots of customer reviews. Yeah. That tells me you're extremely passionate about that, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have to help people. Yeah. If our product doesn't help people, then we're not going to be successful. Yeah. No one cares to listen to this. Nobody cares about GrayMatter. If it's the core of everything we do. It has to actually work.
Yeah. I think this is the right time to try GrayMatter.
Okay, let's do it.
I've tried it before.
I actually need some. I didn't get a lot of sleep.
So I was just about to say, I've been on a flight for 4 hours, and I've had 2 hours of sleep right now. Yeah. So I need GrayMatter. Yes. Let's do it.
All right.
Can we just cut that out?
That's what we got to cut out.
Blooper reel here.
So Bright Mind's a nootropic drink mix. There's 27 active ingredients in it. It's all plant-based. There's nothing artificial, no sugar, no dyes, anything like that. And it's full of substances that help strengthen your cognition.
I'm sold.
Yeah, this is the new packaging. And, you just take a scoop, put it in your GrayMatter capsule.
I want to try it.
And give it a whirl. This is a strawberry lemonade flavor. We've got another tangerine flavor. This is the kind of OG one. We made one for the camera guy too. Everybody's got to try this.
This is nice.
You like it?
Okay, honestly, I'm an OG guy.
You like this?
I'm an OG guy. I just like the sweeter strawberry side of things.
Let's give it a go.
So what is important about this is we wanted to make something that you could feel and feel quickly. There's a lot of things that are out there that are very subtle from a cognitive standpoint. That was the opportunity we spotted to make something that like you really feel, right? And you don't have to wait or like wonder if it's working. Like you notice it.
Oh yeah.
And you just feel focused and are like more easily into a flow state for multiple hours.
And just for everyone watching, I have tried this before and it takes about 10, 15 minutes for it to really start kicking in and I can feel the focus.
What do you feel?
I might my eyes are locked in. Maybe they're just your eyes that I'm focusing on, but I think I just feel a little bit more focus.
Yeah.
Right. Like I can get work done. I can lock in.
Yeah.
I think if I were to describe it, it's just locking into something, whether it's work, whether it's something else I'm doing. Usually I'm working during that time. So
yeah, it's like in between a coffee and an Adderall.
Yeah.
Right. Adderall is too much. Coffee sometimes isn't enough or maybe doesn't last that long. This kind of gives you the best of both worlds and it's smooth.
I think it's better than coffee because coffee doesn't make me feel this way.
Yeah.
Coffee is just more general. I feel like I almost need it, but here I get like super focus.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we hear in reviews is, some people are replacing their Adderall with it. That to me is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a lot more of a healthy option.
Right.
And it just gets better over time too. The more you drink it, the effects compound.
I tried it 2 ways when you first sent it over. I didn't drink any coffee that day. And I just took Bright Mind. I don't know. I couldn't do it like this. It didn't work for me. I needed the coffee first. And then what you're saying, afternoon supplement with this.
Yeah.
That worked out perfectly.
It's great.
Especially for like nights where I'm like the night before I'm drinking or something. I need that extra focus for that the following day. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, I love coffee. Yeah. And I have a coffee during the day and in the morning. And sometimes I'll take about like a half a scoop of Bright Mind in the morning with a coffee. And then, after that first coffee, instead of a second one, I'll have Bright Mind.
So for people watching, can they also just use it as like put it in their mouth like a
like Armra?
like pre-workout?
Yeah. I mean, you could, I guess. I wouldn't advise that.
Okay.
It's probably a little tart.
This is really good. So let's get into how you came up with the name GrayMatter.
Yeah. So if you don't know, GrayMatter is a substance in your brain that everybody has, and it kind of baffles scientists. They don't really know what it does in your mind, but they know that the more that you have, the stronger your cognition is. So when we had this idea to make a plant-based cognitive supplement, took us a little bit, but we just kind of came up with GrayMatter because it's a cool name and references what we're doing.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. Well, I think we've tried GrayMatter now. We've asked you a bunch of questions, but for the people watching, the whole point that we're doing this is Jim and the team has taken GrayMatter from nothing to now $1 million in ARR. All right. Just very recently. We've been supporting advertising. We've been supporting performance marketing, which is just a small part of the growth. There's been other challenges that came up, manufacturing, churn, CAC problems, subscription problems. But for the people watching this, we want you guys to learn through the mistakes we've made and the wins that we've made as well. So that's the current episode. In the next episode, we're going to talk about our audit that we did for GrayMatter, what we got from that, getting started with performance marketing, things that we started learning immediately, and then getting closer to that $1 million ARR mark.
1.5.
It's going up every second here. Thanks, guys. Anytime a partner joins us, we always take a look at their ad account. It's always a shit show.
The type of person that attracts to purchase is someone that maybe doesn't have as much intent.
Because the ad that was winning, I looked at it and I'm like, this is not the best ad I've seen. By the end of month 2, we ended up at 144K ARR.
It's so small.
Just a small increase from 100K ARR.